Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Shepherd's Review, and in this video we're going to be talking about blood types and blood compatibilities. We'll first start by identifying the different types of blood type, and by going from there, we will be then able to understand which blood are compatible with each other. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to our channel. It'll help with the YouTube algorithm. And having said that, let's get started with the lecture. So let's first start off by identifying the different types of blood types. So we have blood type A, blood type B, blood type A and B, and blood type O. Blood type A contains antigen A. So this is basically sugar on the red blood cell saying, hey, I'm blood type A. But blood type A has an antibody against blood type B. So blood type A has antibodies for B. Blood type B has an antigen called antigen B. Antigen B. And they also contains antibodies against blood type A. So antibodies A. So when you see A and B for the antibodies, it's the opposite. Blood type A has antibodies against B. Blood type B has antibodies against A. And now the antigen is basically, again, the sugar that's on the red blood cells and is saying, hey, I'm blood type A or I'm blood type B. Blood type AB, they have antigen A and B. They're saying, hey, we're blood type A and B. So antigen A and B. Now, the AB blood, it has no antibodies. Now, blood type O does not contain any antigen, but they have antibodies of A and B. So now that we were able to identify the blood types, now let's look at the compatibility of the blood types. Now, all you really need to know is just focus on the antibodies, because the antibodies are what helps determine if they're compatible with each other. So look, blood type A, it has antibodies B, so it'll attack if you give it blood type B. So since it's against B blood, or it has antibodies against the B, that means you can give blood type A and you can give blood type O. Don't give anything that has the B in it. But you say to yourself, well, what about the AB? This has an A, but yes, it also has a B. And again, it does not like a B. So the only compatibility for blood type A is blood type A and blood type O. Now let's move on to blood type B. Blood type B, again, has an antibodies against A, so we cannot give it blood type A. So what blood type that we can give that does not have any A? We can give blood type B and blood type O. We don't want to give blood type AB because it also has the A. Now, what about AB? AB does not have any antibodies. So the fact that AB does not have any antibodies, that means you can give blood type A, blood type B, blood type AB, and blood type O. This is known as the universal recipient. They can accept everything. What about blood type O? Now you have to see here, blood type O, it does not have any antigen, but it has antibodies. Now antibodies are the one that's going to help us determine the compatibility of the blood. It says it has antibodies against A, antibodies against B. So we cannot give A, we cannot give B, and we can't give AB because they have A and B. So the only one that the blood type O will accept is blood type O. Now this is known as the universal donor. Blood type O can give to everything. Blood type AB can accept everything. Now that we were able to identify the blood type compatibility, The one thing that confuses a lot of people is the rhesus factor. Well, we're not just blood type A and B, we're also blood type positive and negative A. We're also blood type positive and negative B. We're also blood type positive AB and negative AB. And we're also positive O and negative O. So how will we compare the compatibility of the rhesus factor? All right, so here I have a chart to determine which RH compatibility or the rhesus factor are able to compatible with each other. Now, before I get started on the RH compatibility or the rhesus factor on the positive and the negative, let me just give you guys a quick review or a quick understanding of the universal donor and the universal recipient. If you guys get confused on which is which, here is a diagram that I want you guys to remember. So, if you have a pen and paper, try to write this down. The circle's in the top, O is in the top, AB is in the bottom, A is on the left, B is on the right. Now, all the arrows will be pointing down. See? All the arrows will be pointing down. Now remember this. Look at the arrows. O, all the arrows are going down. That means O is the universal donor. It can give to every type of blood types. Now the AB, look at the arrows. They're all going down. A here, B here, A here. That means this is their universal recipients. They can accept all types of blood. Now you can also use this chart to determine the compatibility of each, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would just use, okay, look, O, all the arrows are pointing down, meaning it can give to all type of blood. AB, all the arrows are pointing down at it, meaning it can receive all the type of blood. Now, if you want to determine if which blood type is compatible with each other, just remember this portion right here that we discussed. Always remember the antibodies. A has antibody B. B has antibody A. AB does not have any antigen. O has antibodies A and B. By knowing which blood has an antibodies, you're able to know the compatibility. But this right here that I draw for you guys is just easier to understand which one's the universal donor, which one's the universal recipient. All the arrows for the O is going down, meaning they can give it to all. And B, all the arrows are pointing down in it, meaning they receive everything. That's how you're able to determine easily which one's the universal donor and the universal recipient. Now that we discussed the compatibility of the blood types and we were able to clearly identify the universal donor and the universal recipient from this chart right here, these arrows, now let's talk about the rhesus factor. The rhesus factor gets a lot of people confused because we're not just AB, AB, and O. We're also A positive, A negative. We're also B positive, B negative. We're also AB positive and AB negative, and we're also O positive and O negative. So you ask yourself, okay, how do I know which one's compatible if there's so much? If there's positive and negative. There's positive B, positive AB, negative AB, positive O, negative O. Well, let's break it down very clearly in this. Let's break it down very simple right now. Now, in the rhesus factor, you need to understand, according to this chart right here, this is just a guidance, but don't look at it too much or else you're going to be confused. But I just need you to know, in the rhesus factor, the universal donor is O negative, and the universal recipient for the rhesus factor is AB positive. So, just remember this. When you have a positive accepts a positive and a negative. A negative just accepts a negative. Remember that. So, when we talk about AB positive, the reason why this is the universal recipient is because look at the positivity. Positive accepts positive and negative, and AB is a universal recipient, meaning it accepts all kind. So it accepts AB positive, AB negative. It accepts A positive and A negative. It accepts B positive and B negative, it also accepts O positive and O negative. So look at the chart. O negative, O positive. B negative, B positive. A negative, A positive. AB negative, AB positive. That's why it's a universal recipient in the Rhesus factor. However, the AB negative, now remember, AB is a universal recipient, meaning it accepts everything. But look at the sign. It's a negative, and look right here. Negative only accepts negative. So it only accepts A, B negative, A negative, B negative, and O negative. Look at the chart. O negative, check. B negative, check. A negative, check. AB negative, check. It accepts everything but just the negative. Now, let me give you guys an example and try to pause the video so that you guys can figure it out. Let's say you have A positive. Can you guys match which one is compatible? Pause the video and then know if your answer is the same as mine. So let's get started. A, as you can see here, has an antibody against B. So the only one that they like is to get A and O. As long as it's not B, that's okay. So they can accept A and O. We're doing the same thing. Now look at the positivity. A positive accepts a positive and a negative. So not only does it accept a positive A and O, they also accept negative A and O. Look at the chart. Positive A, 0 negative, check. 0 positive, check. A negative, check. A positive, check. A positive, 0 positive. A negative, 0 negative. Let's do one more. Let's say I give you B negative. What is B compatible with? Well, it says here, B is compatible with B and O. Look at the negativity. A negative only accepts a negative. So that means they can only accept a negative. Now, is this right? Look at the chart. B, negative O, check. B, negative B, check. You see? Let's do one last one. See if you guys can figure this out. Let's say I give you O positive. What is compatible with O? Because it has an antibody A and B, you cannot get A and B, so it only accepts O. If it only accepts O, the compatibility is O. Look at the positivity. A positive accepts a positive and a negative. So that means it can accept O positive and O negative. But it can only accept the O. Just remember that. So let's see if you got it right. O negative, check. O positive, check. So that'll be the end of the lecture, guys. If you guys understand this, please like and subscribe to the channel. Again, it'll help with the YouTube algorithm. This does take time, but I really hope that you guys were able to understand this well. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below, and I'll answer all of you guys' comments if I can. You can also email me at shepherdsreview@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys, for the video. Till next time, see you in the next video.